It's about to
Oh, well,
play,
actually, they're just on tour at the moment, so
Yeah.
this is the last show for a while.
Alright, sweet. Last. This is it. This is the fuck.
Let's put the band up because that manager is crazy.
crazy. Yeah.
So how's the tour been going? This is the last show of the tour. It's all been going good.
It's probably our last show of this tour in Australia. We go to Hong Kong tomorrow and Vietnam and China to do a tour and then go on a break for a while.
Awesome.
So yeah.
So the new album, let's talk about the new album. It's been getting a lot of positive feedback. Have you been getting a good response from the album so far?
Yeah, I mean the songs seem to translate fairly well live, so it's been pretty good. And yeah, we had a pretty good tour recently. We did like a 7-week stint tour around Australia, like last month. Yeah.
Sweet, awesome.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how the band started. Just a bit of history on the guys. How you guys all began. You guys don't know the Gurge. How did it begin?
So long ago,
Yeah.
it's probably about 20 years ago.
What happened 20 years ago?
What? I don't know what happened yesterday.
We've been around for a long time. We started in Brisbane in the early 90s, in the summer of 93, and we met through a few different ways, and there's a few different stories. But it might take an hour to tell you. I don't know if I want to go into each and every little story right now, but that's a rough breakdown.
Guys, you're on hiatus at the moment. After this tour, is that the plan? Or just permanent hiatus, or is it what's happening?
Oh well, I'm starting family, so I'm taking a break at least for a couple of years.
Cool.
Stop the touring, stay at home a bit, and then just work on side things.
Yeah, sweet. Maybe just get back into it maybe a bit later on down the track.
Yeah,
See how it goes.
Yeah, sure.
That's it. Guys, what's your most memorable rock and roll experience? You guys, got a great back catalogue, tours, albums, everything like that. What's your most rock and roll experience?
I don't know, I think playing Mount Fuji was pretty amazing. In 2002, we always toured Japan in the 90s and went there a lot, and I guess we always dreamed of playing a festival like Mount Fuji, so we got to play that, which was, pretty much a highlight, really. That was quite an amazing experience for me.
I was sick of the dog that particular show.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but it was an incredible festival.
The festival was just amazing, yeah.
Seeing Brian Eno play live.
Yeah, for sure.
Insane.
It was good, yeah.
Are there any bands that you guys are getting into at the moment? Is there some new talent that you've been discovering recently? Some new bands?
I mean, there's a band that's been around for a while that I really love called Earthless that are really good. They're touring later this year, and I really love that band called Goat. They're really good.
Yeah, that's cool. Listen to some strange kind of instrumental R&B thing called XXYY and XX, which is not okay.
It's a good band in Melbourne called Christ Kiddo that are pretty fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Alright guys, Juan and Ben from The Gurge. Thank you so much guys. Hey guys, Mel and Matt here on Hype TV. We've got a very special guest with us right now. Absolute privilege to be talking to you right now, Peter.
You too, man.
Pete, let's talk about your music career, how it all started.
Well, where to start? I suppose I have to say it started as a teacher. That was my background. And I started writing probably my first children's song in around about 1973.
Wow.
Yeah, a long time ago.
That's crazy.
I'm really 115. It says that.
Yeah.
I was actually teaching, and I decided I would help my kids to write this kids operetta.
Yeah.
Now, in reality, I probably wrote 85% of it, but it was a kind of a workshop thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And having done that, I realised thought I had some ability to write kids stuff, and no one was doing it. So when I say no one, almost no one was writing music for children.
For sure.
So I did it, and then went to England, London in 1977, and scored this job at the BBC called Music Time, and I presented this kids music program for about 3 years, which was great fun.
Excellent.
And then came back to Australia, and I resumed my teaching career for a while. Part of me says, why did I come back? Why did I leave London? So I had this television program going, but I did. Anyway, you do these things and you wonder why you did them after a while.
Exactly.
But anyway, cut a long story short, I in '81 I decided to record a children's album. I had a whole lot of children's songs which someone else was going to record, and they pulled out of it. And I thought, well, I either don't do it or I just fund it myself and do it myself.
Yeah.
So I funded myself, and it was fairly obvious right from the beginning. Within about 2 weeks, that it was kind of germinating. Something good was going to come out of it.
For sure.
Because this is a real cottage industry.
Yeah.
I'd be running off cassette tapes. Remember them?
Cassette tape, yes, cassettes,
Cassettes.
Cassettes.
Of a real
Yeah,
little
yes.
tape machine. So, and then selling them to friends, and then friends of friends, and friends of friends
Yeah.
of friends. They ring me up and ask, can we have a copy?
Yeah.
And after about a month, I thought, this is kind of, it's just going somewhere.
Mm.
And because no one was doing it. I mean, no one was writing new songs for children.
No.
There was a lady called Patsy Biscoe who used to do traditional songs for kids, but Patsy did nursery rhymes, and that's fine. But I thought there's got to be room for new songs for kids.
Yeah, for sure.
So the first album came out, was called Songs for Little Kids,
Mhm.
and the next album was called naturally More Songs for Little
More
Kids,
Kids.
naturally, as opposed to less songs. Yeah.
That's it.
And then in '87, the third album, Toffee Apple, I took to the ABC, and they took it on. And then I suggested they do a video clip, which I was amazed to see that she did.
Yeah,
She did it. And of course then it got on television, and of course then the whole thing started at that point, exploded.
for sure.
So that's a short history.
How'd you feel when your career just exploded like that?
Oh, it was amazing. I've always been grateful for that.
Yeah.
But like anything in your life, I mean, you do tend to make your own luck. Things
Absolutely.
don't generally just fall into your lap. I mean, you've got to go out and do stuff. You've got to be a bit entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
And you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to think, I think I can do this. I'm quite good at this.
Mm.
That thing of discovering your life, what you are good at.
Absolutely.
And I found that I could relate to children. Well, I mean, I genuinely like children. I've got 4 kids of my own.
Yeah, cool. They play the
So-
band with you too, don't they? They're in the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My son was my guitarist in Adelaide for a while. Then he shifted to Melbourne, became my Melbourne guitar player,
Yeah.
and then he's now living in Queenstown. So unfortunately, I haven't played with Tom for about 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah.
But he's a great guitar player.
Great. So
And
they
he-
must look up to you too. It's incredible. Watching your
Yeah.
dad. Wow, this is crazy. Like,
Yeah, I think so. I think they respect what I do because I'm serious about it. I mean, I don't sort of I take children seriously.
Yeah.
I love their sense of humour. In fact, I share a similar sense of humour to most kids. I think
Cool.
that kind of ultra sense of the ridiculous.
That's
which I
it.
love, and I think you've got to like children to do this. I mean, if you don't like children, why on earth would you be doing it?
what's the point? Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a fantastic career, and it continues to be. I still love doing it.
Great stuff. Let's talk about a typical writing process with yourself there. How does it happen? You're obviously songs like Newspaper Mama, which is just catchy as hell. Songs like that get stuck in your head.
Yeah.
What's a typical writing process like for yourself?
Well, it's interesting I asked that question because I'm right in the middle of a writing process right now.
Yeah.
It's a funny thing with writing. If you haven't done it for a couple of years, you almost half forget how you do it.
For sure.
And when you start doing it again, you rediscover yet again how you do it. And for me, what tends to happen is that I'll start off thinking I'll write an album of new songs.
Yeah.
And I'll sit down and I'll start writing stuff.
Mm.
Usually for the first day or so, nothing much happens.
Mm.
Most of what I get's not very good.
Yeah.
And you've got to know it's not good
Mm.
and discard it, which I do.
Yeah.
And because what you're looking for is that little germ, that little diamond, that little sparkling thing that just ends up being a song.
That's true.
And how you get that will always remain a mystery. And most songwriters will say the same thing. It's a mysterious process.
Sure
But
is.
you're always looking for that little thing which will grow into a nice song.
Yeah.
And once you've got one good song, there's a sort of natural momentum that builds up. And I find that I keep going, and then I tend to get more good songs.
Yeah.
So, but you've got to start somewhere, and there's a sense also where you've got to get down and do it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's easy to say, oh, look, I'll just have another cup of coffee. Oh, I better email that guy. I was going to ring that guy back, wasn't I? I was going to go out today, wasn't I? No, you just got to get down and do it.
That's it.
Because if you don't get down and do it, it won't happen.
Exactly. Hard work pays off in the end as well. You just knuckle down.
Yeah, and it is hard work writing songs for anyone, not just children. I've written songs for adults too, lots of them. Neither is any easier than the other, and most of them are most of it's difficult. But occasionally, a little thing happens where a song almost kind of falls out of the sky from nowhere. And Newspaper Mum was one of those songs. It just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I could never explain to anyone how it happened. I don't know myself. It just sort of happened. Suddenly you get this little
Worked well.
idea, and you rush it down on paper, you record it quickly,
Yeah.
and you've got this song that just works. Whereas most songs require lots and lots of work.
Sure.
And that's the way most writers are, I think.
Yeah, have you got a favourite song that you like playing live? Is there a song that you enjoy playing the most? You got it's quite a big back catalogue there, but is there a song that you enjoy the most?
I love playing Newspaper Mama.
Yeah.
I really enjoy playing Juicy Green Grass.
Yeah, good sing along.
the one I probably would love to give a 2-year rest to, if I was allowed to, is Mr. Clickety Cane or Wash Your Face, No Issues, because it's far and away my most popular song.
Yeah.
Particularly with modern day children.
For sure.
Every child in the country seems to know it,
Oh,
and the reason I know that because I do a lot of big school shows still, and every school I go to, I can just guarantee they'll simply sing it back at me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you've had that happen to you like about 1,000 times, you think, well, I think they know this song. So I'd love to get that a rest, but you can't. I mean, it'd be self-indulgent to go to a school and say, or go to a big public concert and just not do it.
Exactly.
That
Yeah.
to me would be kind of like being a bit mean to the audience. So I do it, and I still get pleasure out of it.
Yeah.
There's always a way of finding some pleasure out of doing the song you've done 1,000 times before.
Absolutely.
And part of me is just grateful that people want to hear it.
Great
So,
stuff.
it's kind of like it's my own personal American Pie, really.
Well, pretty much.
So I'm just glad it's not 8.5 minutes long.
Oh, that's crazy. Let's talk about the music that you grew up listening to when you were younger. Like, what's your main influences there?
Probably they're very adult influences. I mean,
Yeah.
I grew up really wanting to be the world's next Paul Simon.
Yeah, for sure.
But then there are probably about 2 million other songwriters who also want to be the world's next Paul
That's
Simon.
right.
That's what I went to England for in 1977. I was trying to be an adult singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
Because I'm a huge fan of Paul Simon. He's just a brilliant songwriter.
Absolutely.
And you probably guessed all the other ones. I love Lennon McCartney, love George Harrison.
Definitely.
Love Joni Mitchell, love Dylan, I'm a big Dylan fan. Modern day people, I'm a big fan of Katie Noonan.
Yeah.
There's a wonderful singer, wonderful
Yeah.
songwriter. I enjoyed Nora Jones, especially her earlier stuff. Love Bruce Springsteen.
For sure.
I used to love Peter, Paul and Mary, who are, you might know them. They were
Yeah, it rings a bell.
well, when they became big in Australia, it's probably hard for you to be your age to imagine this. They
That's
were
true.
they were like the Radiohead of now.
Oh, I see.
They were
Okay.
just huge. And
Nice.
they were the lead act in the folk protest movement. And I was very inspired by that.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
that was all driven by the opposition to the Vietnam War.
Absolutely.
And so I was a huge fan of Peter, Paul and Mary. And that's where I learned guitar playing because I both love the guitar players.
Yeah, yeah.
And they developed a unique technique of playing guitars together, and I'm often a bit in a way amazed when I see two guys playing on television and they're both playing exactly the same chords in the same position.
Yeah.
And they needn't do it. They could actually, like, one could be playing open fret, one could be playing fifth fret, one just playing different chord chaps.
Yeah.
And you get such a lovely combination of sounds by doing it. They pioneered that sort of idea.
For sure.
And so yeah, big fan. They're my main influences.
Damn straight. Good stuff. Now let's you've been playing a lot of over 18 shows recently over the past few years. How's that been going?
Oh, they're just incredible fun.
Yeah.
They're really joyous things. It's kind of like it's almost like a religious experience, except without the religion. It's staggering how happy people are at these shows, and they sing everything. I think what happened. This is my guess, and I don't know this for sure. I think a lot of people who haven't been to shows come along not quite knowing what to expect.
Yeah.
I mean, there they are. It's Saturday night. It's 10:30.
Yeah.
And I'm singing children's songs with a band. It's slightly weird. It's surreal, really.
Just a little bit, eh?
But that's, of course, what makes it special.
Yeah,
The fact
exactly.
that you can revisit your growing up days for about an hour and a quarter and just lose all sense of, just you're out there.
Yeah.
And any sense of being cool is just blown away.
That's it.
And the thing I've always found most interesting is the ones who are most out there are the guys. You think the girls would be the ones, but it's actually the guys who often go crazy.
Yeah, they go insane. Actually,
They love it.
Actually, someone started the mosh pit for Toffee Apple. The show I saw you at in 2008. That was the coolest thing.
Yeah,
Like, a massive mosh pit. That was just unreal.
Yeah.
Everyone just getting into it and having fun. It's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Well, I did it. The biggest one I've ever done is a thing called the Falls Festival.
Oh yeah,
Which is in just out of Melbourne, and that was just amazing. About 3,000 of them.
Wow.
I was always been so disappointed. I never got asked back to it, and I can only assume because the right people didn't see it, because the reaction was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was like the biggest I've ever done.
That's insane.
But if the right person doesn't see it, well, of course, he doesn't get passed on down to the organisers.
Well, that's true.
Anyway, so that was great. So those shows are fantastic. I love doing. I get a chance to play with a great band.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I've got a Sydney band, a Melbourne band, an Adelaide band, a Perth band, a Brisbane band, and a Hobart band. And it's taken me about 7 or 8 years to build that up.
Yeah.
And the reason I have that is because when you travel and doing these shows, I just simply can't. I can't take 5 people with me.
That's
it's
true.
just too expensive.
Yeah.
I'd end up making nothing out of it at all.
Mm.
So what I've done is I take one guy, my keyboard player.
Yeah.
He comes everywhere with me. But the other 3 guys I've kind of trained up in each capital city, and they're all very good musicians.
Yeah.
And they love doing it, and they all tend to be very young. They're kind of like they're 20-something.
Wow.
And that gives the show a nice kind of vibe because you've got half the band are the same age as the audience.
That's right.
So
mate.
which is rather nice.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about the future plans for yourself there, Peter. What's the plans for the future at the moment?
I've got little dreams. I'd love to. One of my dreams would be to write another musical because I've written one major musical. I took the Australian classic Snugglepot and Cuddlepie.
Yeah.
It was a commission work. I was commissioned to write this back in 1992.
Yeah.
And it's one of the 2 great Australian classics.
Of course.
And I turned that into a big musical with 18 soloists, a symphony orchestra, and a band and a huge choir.
Jeez.
And that was really hard going, but incredibly satisfying because we recorded it.
Mm.
I would love to take the other great classic, The Magic Pudding, and do the same thing with that. It's a very, very different book.
Yeah.
It's very satirical, lots of nice hard edges in it.
For sure.
That'd be great fun. But getting the rights to do these things is very difficult. It reminds me of Tim Minchin, who took him 10 years to get the rights to do Matilda.
Yeah, that's right.
You should go and see Matilda. It is just
Need to see
brilliant.
that. I've heard
It
some
is
good stuff
just
about it.
brilliant. I saw it. My wife and I saw it in London in 2013. It's just superb.
Wow.
And I'm very picky about musicals. But I just loved it. Tim's a very, very talented guy. He's a really nice guy too. He's highly intelligent, very, to use a modern cliche, very grounded.
For sure.
But it's just fantastic. I'd love to do it. I'd love to do a big musical like that. That'd be fantastic fun.
Well, fingers crossed for you. I really hope it works because it's it.
Yeah. Well, you sort of musicals you get a chance to be very expansive.
That's true.
Because one of my writing philosophies is never to write down to children. Always assume that children are emotionally, intellectually, and musically intelligent. Because most of them are.
Yeah.
And you don't want to write down to them. You want to sort of allow them to grow with the music and come up with it.
Absolutely.
So when I write any album, I tend to actually put things on there that are often quite sophisticated. Because I know that they'll kind of grow into those.
Yeah,
things. There's obviously always simple things as well, because in the end they're children.
Mm.
But it's like sort of writing things that are not childish but kind of childlike. There's an innocence about them.
Yeah.
And I love doing funny stuff. Love doing funny songs. really enjoy that.
Good stuff. Well, look, Pete, you've got 30 plus experience behind your belt there. Is there any advice that you give to aspiring musicians that want to follow in the same footsteps as yourself?
It's a hard road to hoe because there's very little support for it in the mainstream media. Just aren't interested in children's music.
Yeah.
It's just sadly they're just not interested.
Yeah.
And one of my passions would be to actually elevate children's music to the importance of children's literature. I think they're both equally important.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, the only record company in the country who supports kid music is the ABC. There's no one else who's remotely interested. Whether it's Sony, Universal, they're not interested. They never will be. And if they're not interested now, 25 years after it's been going, then
never will be.
it's not likely to happen.
Yeah.
Why they're not, I don't quite know. So,
It's interesting.
but answering your question properly, if I was an aspiring children's songwriter now, you'd have to present to the ABC.
Yeah.
I would suggest to them you live in Sydney,
Yeah.
because sadly the ABC is very Sydney-centric.
Sure is.
And they haven't even got a staff member in Melbourne, let alone Adelaide, Perth, Brisbane, Hobart.
That's interesting. Yeah.
So it's totally based in Sydney. So I would say live in Sydney, which is it's sad to say that. Why should you have to live in Sydney? much as I like Sydney, I love Sydney.
But that's it.
But you shouldn't have to live here. But in a way, if you're going to be practical, that's what I'd say to do. But also, I'd say be prepared to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Just prepare to go make your own sort of pathway, because the ABC can tend to be very very conservative. About
Yeah,
things.
absolutely.
And they often don't understand what new people are doing.
Yeah.
So be prepared to actually make your own pathway and just do it. But certainly you should approach them.
For sure.
Of course, have an act.
Yep.
And you've got to play something. It's very hard to be a professional kids writer if you don't. Generally speaking, play an instrument you can hold.
Yeah.
You can be a keyboard player, but keyboard player is difficult because it's harder to kind of engage with children over a keyboard.
Yeah, it's very
Whereas
hard.
with a guitar, it's just much easier.
Yeah.
But you can't do it. So that's jumbled advice, but that's a mix of those things.
Well, yeah. Pete, absolute privilege to be chatting to you here. Is there any final words you want to tell the audience out there?
Well, keep coming to my shows. No, I what I would say is I love what I do. I've always loved what I do, and when I stop loving it, and when I can't sing anymore, or when I'm dead maybe, I'll stop doing it.
In the meantime, keep going.
I'm gonna keep going. And the other thing is to say that I think keeping up the standard to me is really important.
For sure.
When I write an album, when I do a concert, I like to think I can do something I can do it really well still.
Yeah.
And if I can't do it really well still, that's probably the time I should give it up.
Mm.
But so far, fingers crossed, I think I can still do it okay. So, yeah, that's
Excellent.
It. That's
Fantastic. Thanks, Pete.
Pleasure.
Absolute privilege.
Pleasure, Matt.
There you go. We're Hot TV Australia here with Metal Nut. We've got Lance Lee and Crowd and Sonic Cigars to this. Lance, I'm doing good. Very well, very well. Good to catch up again. It's all right. Now we're here. You're here now with the new exhibition. What made you want to do something like this? This whole show is a tribute to my mate Juzzy, who Matt knows. Juzzy was always very supportive of me, and he bought me my first easel, he came on my tablets, so he's always told me, always wanted me to be on the run, you know? So I wanted to do this in his honour, and do it as a tribute to him, and make him proud. I'm sure he's watching. I'm sure he is. This is an amazing thing to be doing for your best mate. Now, let's talk about some of these paintings now. Got here, Pete Steele, who's one of my favourites, the Typo. Yeah. Talk about the detail behind this. I love this photo of him because there's so much mood in it. And he was such a moody guy, and he had a lot of character. Yeah. And it's great to paint because you can try and get that character. So this one we're actually selling for a charity, Muscular Dystrophy, which my cousin died of when I was younger, and I want to tribute him as well. And definitely one of my favourites. It's a painting here that actually stands out the most to you, and the most touching happening. Well, the painting I did of Juzzy, that's gone now. I gave it to his parents. That was actually the first I did in this kind of style that I have, and it kind of paved the way for the rest of these. Now, the one that stands out the most to me right now is the dancing one. Let's go over here for a second. Big tribute piece for his dad bought it, so that's pretty cool. Some more stuff coming up? I have something in the works for next year, but it's all be bigger and better and funner. That's all. Yeah. Last game, guys, here at the art gallery. We'll take some nice shots through there. Thank you very much.
Woke up this morning.
Up TV Australia. We are here with a very talented band from Sydney called Tiffany Bridgeford and the Reckless Abandon. Guys, introduce yourselves.
My name is Jake, I play drums.
I'm Christian, I play lead guitar.
I'm Tiffany, I'm vocals, keys.
Justin, bass.
Guys, let's talk about the band. How did this band all come together?
So I made an EP as a solo artist back in 2012. Then found people to come and do gigs with me, and then found these guys who were just so great that we decided that we needed to become a permanent band and combine to become Tiffany Bridgeford and the Reckless Abandon. And so that was mid this year, and I've been going strong since then.
Fantastic. Now you're working on an EP. Well, there's an EP coming out.
Yep.
Let's talk about that. It's coming out in January.
Yeah, that's right. So we've got 3 new songs. We recorded it at The Grove with Murray Sheridan as our producer, which was just a really, really great experience. We're super proud of this. I think it's definitely our best work to date, by a long shot. So we're going to put it out. We brought forward the release a little bit because we found out that we're playing Big Day Out. So we wanted it to be out before that. So about mid-January it'll be coming out. So we've just listened to the first round of mixes. It's about to go into mastering in a week or so. So we're very, very excited.
Now you just mentioned then Big Day Out. Not many bands get an opportunity. You guys must be stoked. Obviously, you've been to Big Day Out a few times in the past, and being able to play a festival like that's beyond compare. How do you guys feel about it?
It's ridiculous. It's a
Yeah.
dream come true.
Yeah.
And I've never been to
Imagine.
the Big Day Out, so my
Yeah.
first one,
How's that?
I can't even explain.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So how did you get approached for it? Did you enter a competition or how?
Yep,
how
so we entered the Headspace Big Day Out competition.
Mhm.
So I just had to put in a photo and a song, and then people voted online. Then we got into the top 10 of the state, and from there it went to voting with an industry panel and Triple M. So we were the Triple M pick for Sydney.
Excellent. Fantastic.
As a tasty valley filling up with doubt, disappointed, but I'm what to do. I'm trying with you, but nothing ever seems out at all. Oh God, all I
Now, let's talk about the influences behind the band. I suppose every member's got different influences that bring
Yep.
that sort of style of the band.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the influences one by one.
Well, mostly I would say Led Zeppelin. They're just the greatest band, I feel, and Blink-182 and just all those kind of bands just do it
Yeah.
for me personally. So I try and add a bit of that in, but not
Excellent.
too much.
Yeah.
For me, guitar playing wise, it's very different. So I do a lot of blues work. So John Mayer's a big influence for that. And then
Fantastic.
I do some harmonies and guitars and stuff, and Avenged Sevenfold helps a lot with that, and all that kind of stuff. And then musically, really, Switchfoot is the big one for me.
Yeah. They're a great band.
Yeah, really great.
For me, I guess fairly eclectic. So I grew up playing flute and learning, classically trained and all that. So sometimes the classical stuff comes into it, and then sort of all the classics like your Beatles, Queen, all that kind of thing. Through to modern stuff like I'm a huge fan of the Killers.
Yeah.
Die-hard fan of them. I like Evanescence, Muse, who I just saw recently. So big range of stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and me being a little older, I tend to like all the grungier stuff. For me it was Nirvana, Alice in Chains, and Silverchair, and a lot of Australian sort of grungy rock stuff right from the 90s. And I guess that sort of helps, bring a bit of that in my playing to the band as well. But in saying that, I think we all have a lot of overlaps as well of what we all
Definitely.
sort of share.
Yeah,
definitely.
for sure.
I suppose the variety of influences behind the band combined to one style, and you guys create your own sound, which is quite great.
We try.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the I suppose for the rest of the year. Obviously, the EP is coming out. you guys going to be hitting the road? Going to be touring a fair bit?
Planning to. We're still sort of planning all that out, but we do plan to do some interstate shows to support the EP release.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully sort of East Coast at least, regional places. Yeah, a whole range of stuff. So we're planning all that now. So details to be worked out.
Fantastic. Some advice that you give out to aspiring musicians out there. I suppose there's a lot of people out there at the moment that have seen you guys and want to learn a bit off you guys. What sort of advice would you give to any aspiring musicians out there?
Pretty much never give up and just stick with it. Even if you're not the greatest, just as long as you're having fun, that's what it's all about, I feel.
Yeah, just got to keep working at it. That's true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Now, if people want to contact you guys to find more about the band, you're on Facebook, you got a website.
Yep. Facebook.com/Tiffany Bridgeford.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Excellent.
I'm sure we'll put the link in and all that.
You
Yeah.
guys got some video clips
Twitter
too
and all
that
that
you can check out as well. You guys got some video clips.
That's right, yep. So there's a music video from the last EP. We've got a whole bunch of live videos from gigs that we've done over the last few months. We've got another one which is currently uploading as we speak, which is, that one's a bit of a special one. That's an acoustic version of an original song that we recorded.
Yeah.
So when we went up to the Grove Studios to track the EP, and found ourselves 11 o'clock at night, having finished tracking, leaving the next morning, looking around the studio, sort of going, oh, look at this beautiful grand piano. And we couldn't resist, so we had to pump out a few acoustic.
And I was completely unaware because
Yeah, Justin had
I
to
was
leave.
already on the way home.
Yeah, poor Justin was in the car travelling back to Sydney.
That's
but-
all right, but it sounds great though. I approved of the mix.
Yeah, so we've got one of them coming up. So yeah, that should be out in a day or two.
Good stuff. Some big things happening for the band. Anyway guys, Tiffany Bridgeford and the Reckless Abandon, check them out on Hype TV.
You're watching ITV, me and man Charlie. This is our new clip, Ladybug Dog. Check it out.